So this is where it all began for me. This is my old college practical assessment room. It's just wicked to be back. What I wanted to do is basically use this space to do a bit more tutorial sort of videos. My studio was fine, it's just too small. So this is where I can expand a little bit, go back to the old techniques, what we were actually taught in the exact scenario of where we was taught. So I'm going to try and mix it up with a bit of talking as well as just getting on with it and trying to show you the techniques, what we learn at college and that we use in our day-to-day as a normal plumber. So let's crack on, let's get on with the video and yeah, let's see what we can do. So this is the jig that I wanted to do. It's basically copying what the lads would simulate when they're practicing their pipe bending and their soldering. So we're going to come up here, across, do a little square section, come down, around, jump over this way. I'm going to tee off section, 90-degree bend, connecting this side to this side, come down, and then we're going to go LCS across, up, back onto the 15, around with a 245-degree bend finish. So let's crack on with it. What I'm going to do is what I try and teach a lot of the lads to do is put extra clips in, because what this will allow is the pipes to sit flat and it will stop them moving in all different directions, which can give you false measurements. So as you can see, what I'm going to do is mark center. And that'll give me a rough idea, left and right, give or take a couple of mils so I can move them here or there. And I'll just cut off the excesses when I'm done. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour my full cross. So we'll start in the middle, bend on my mark. And then we'll just bend our sides. We'll start off with the first one, line them up. And then what I'm looking to do here is basically give myself a nice little gap measurement up and over. This is just the way that I do it. I've just been used to doing it this way. And then we'll bend the original bend a little bit more. And this is to match the left-hand side. So what I'm trying to do here is match this side with that side. So I just need a little bit more. And the easiest way to check it is to basically put it in the benders for the last bend. And then when you eye it up, you're basically looking for a straight line coming down here. So now we'll just pull the last bend and we'll finish it up with the first one. A little bit more. It's not bad, we'll go with that. Okay, we'll just see what it looks like on the bench. Looks pretty good to me. It's not bad for just eyeing it up. Right, let's get them into the jig. So just clean up the ends. So I like to bend my sets nice and tight. This is obviously what the lads have been taught. They're taught to do like a 60-degree and then just flare out the ends, which is fine, but you'll find that you'll get like more straight bits here, and it'll look like a triangle, where, as you can see, mine, they're like swept nicely and tight. That's the technique from the start of the bend, where you first bend your middle section and then your first one, and then you're able to get this as tight as possible by only bending it a small amount. If you want to increase it, you basically just keep bending these two to get up and over here. If you bend this one more and this one more, in theory it will get higher and higher. So yeah, you do this bit here, and then you match this bend with the first bend, and then just square off. And that's just the way that I like to do it. So with this first section done, I'm happy to solder it all up. I'm just going to put this in here so we can test it. Okay, so what we're going to do is basically mark our first bend, leave a little bit so we can cut off, and we're going to hover it into the bender with a short side to the left, and then bend our first 45. Just like that. Like I said before, the lads, they would work out all this, but as a real world plumber myself, I'm just going to hover it in to the clips, line it up so this side's in line, which is about here, and then mark where the pipe's going to be cutting across. So it's about there. And then what I'm going to do is basically line the cross mark right where it hits the former side. That's about there. We're going to bend our second 45. So you'll get something which looks like this. So we'll just hover it into our jig and then mark where we need to cut our first one, which is about here. Just clean up our last section of our 45. There we go. Get the old trusty trowel out. Okay, so now that side's all done. We've got the top section, comes around 245s up, in with a crossover, up around the top. So we'll end up sticking a T-piece here, and we'll come down, and I think we're going to end up having a black iron fitting. So this is one that I've already made on the steel, and I'm going to show you how to make up the other end. So what I'm going to do is just hover this up into the center, so the male iron is facing this way. right above the clips, as you can see, center to center. And then we'll work out our T-piece here. Basically stick a T-piece and then a male line in this side and a male line in that side. So let's mark him up, we'll cut him, we'll thread him, and then we'll make this T on here. What we're going to do is mark our end, and then you need to work out how much thread is inside the fitting to then add on, because that is where we're going to cut and thread up. And I'm pretty sure the inside diameter is about 12 mil. So I'm going to guess around about here-ish. That doesn't look too bad. So I've just sliced them off. I'm going to add some cutting paste. And this is what we use. So this is a hand threader from Rothenberger. So we're just going to stick him on, make sure he's in the right direction, and just start threading. So as you can see, he's just started to come through. Okay. Just like that. And we'll put some Boss White on here first. This will basically allow the hemp to stick to the thread. So this is what we use. It's called hemp. I think it's actually like come from horsehair. And you just want to take off a little bit and thin them out. And then we want to follow the threads. So we'll just follow the threads all the way up and back down again. Getting enough on, but not too much. There we go, just like that. When we get our T, what we want to do is finish this in the same orientation as our elbow. So we'll just screw them on. And I'm going to be using the pipe vise. So this is a wrench that you see me use a lot. It's the Amigo Slim L, and it's a self-setting adjustable wrench. So it's perfect for applications like steel. As you can see, no setting. It's almost making it up like a ratchet. So we're just tightening them up, and we're looking to finish them off in that orientation as our elbow. So we'll just square them off here now. Perfect. Final thing left to do is to clean up our threads, and we just use a hacksaw and we'll go down using the same orientation all the way around the fitting. And this is cosmetic, but it also allows us to see any leaks. So the Boss White will go hard with the hemp, and it does disguise a little bit. So we'll just cut all this off. It'll leave a nice clean finish, as well as we'll be able to see if there's any problems with the joint. Just like that. Give them a quick little wipe over. And there we go, nice and easy. Come out of the vise and see exactly how our orientation has gone. So as you can see, finished off in the same orientation. It's pretty good. Let's get it back down on a jig and we'll finish off the copper wet. Okay, so now we've got our T-piece and our elbow. We're going to make in some male irons, just like this, and then connect them onto our copper, and then finish off with our last T. Instead of using hemp, we're going to be using our gripper lock. It's just a little bit quicker, a little bit cleaner, so we'll just cover up the threads. And then we just screw them in. That's what is needed. And then we'll clean them. Look at that, much, much cleaner, much, much quicker. It's time to just do a couple of our cuts. So we know that we go in, turn all the threads here. So okay, so we'll just plop him into our clips. Just like that. Now we'll paste them up. Because as I was always got taught, if it squeaks, it leaks. Use the jokers here. Okay, so all that's left now is basically just cut them here, put a T on, and finish them up back into this. So as you can see here, it's bent quite too much what I would like. So I'm just going to pour a very slight kick on this, and it will allow us just to move this a little bit and finish up a lot better. So I'm just going to pour a very slight bend in this pipe. As you can see, it's very slight. Get them in. And then I'm just going to back them out a touch. Yank him out that bit. And we'll just pull down all the clips. So we'll just do the final joint. So there we have it, 17 years after me doing a jig like this, back in the same college where I first started. So I hope you like this video. Please like, comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next one.